And if Strictly's not enough sparkle for you, our other guest tonight, well, she is the shining star of the music world, the queen of pop. She's sold over 80 million records. She's won 3 Brit Awards, not to mention a Grammy. It's still at the top of her game, and if the midweeks are right, she'll be back at the top of the charts.
Amazing songs, and now she's also bringing disco back with a new album. It's Kylie Minogue.
Kylie!
Oh, hello, Kylie.
Oh,
how are you?
Nice to see you. We're going to talk about the new album, Disco, a little bit later, but I wanted to ask, you're singing all those fabulous songs. Do you have a favourite that you love?
Oh, he's starting with the tough questions.
Yeah.
Well, Can't Get You Out of My Head was a pretty big hit, so I'll choose that one today.
OK. But it nearly wasn't you that did it, wasn't it?
Correct.
Yeah.
It was offered around. I don't know for how long, but it took me about 20 seconds to fall in love, and then I wanted reassurance it was my song.
Yeah.
Which it was, and the rest is history.
Yeah.
So you can't imagine anybody else singing it, can you?
I know. Sophie Ellis-Bextor, apparently. S Club 7.
Yeah.
Oh, it would have been a waste.
Totally. Thank goodness you got it.
Yeah. Now, if any of you have messages for our rickshaw riders, or indeed a question for Kylie, or you'd like to comment on anything in tonight's show, then please do get in touch in all the usual ways. Oh, brilliant job by Rosie.
They're so articulate, aren't they, these
They
young
are
people?
brilliant, those speeches. And we can go live to Rosie now in her living room.
Hiya.
Rosie. Oh, do you know what? It was so disappointing to hear that you couldn't continue as we'd planned. But despite that, you're carrying on. You're in your living room. How are you finding it, Rosie, so far?
I mean, obviously, like, it's not ideal for anybody with COVID, obviously. But really, we just have to keep on going. Like, we can't let this, obstacle, defeat us. We have to keep going. And, you know, and we're showing COVID that you can't stop Team Rickshaw. So...
Now, we know that you're a fan of somebody who's in the studio with us, aren't you? Kylie, you've been... That's it, Kylie.
Hi,
this is Rosie. You've been following her story, haven't you?
Yeah, you are so inspiring. Look at you cycling and talking. I mean, I would be on the floor at this point.
I'm a bit out of breath, I'm not going to lie, but I'm trying my best.
So how do you keep inspired each day now without leaving the house?
Really, I just, you know, I keep Team Rickshaw in mind because obviously we're all together, even though it's virtual. We're still together in spirit and on Zoom. Yeah. So I just keep them in mind. You know, sometimes I listen to music. Also, I have my family around, so it's nice to, you know, have them because before we wouldn't have been able to. I have to stop because I'm not.
I was about to say, just post for a minute.
Well, if music is going to keep you going, Kylie's got a little something for you.
I mean, I don't know if you can see this, but it's quite reflective. So I've signed this for you in my fairly illegible scrawl. To you, Rosie, love Kylie. I hope you enjoy this, and you know, the more miles, the more bucks.
Yeah.
So people can get donating. So congratulations to you and lots of love.
Thank you so much.
Go Team Rickshaw!
Yes,
Go
Team Rickshaw.
Well done, Rosie. Amazing effort. Thank you so much for being with us.
See you, lovely girl. Keep it up.
Yeah, you don't have to talk anymore.
Yeah.
It's hard cycling and talking.
But you're involved with Children in Need with the single as well this year.
Yeah,
aren't you?
so I've taken part with a lot of other singers for a cover of the Oasis song, Stop Crying Your Heart Out. And I've heard it. It's brilliant. I can't wait for everyone to get involved with that, yeah.
So we can hear that on Zoe Ball's show on Radio 2 on Friday morning, can we? Brilliant.
Yeah.
Look forward to
Amazing.
that.
You've got a new album out, we were just saying.
I do.
Called Disco. It's going to get everyone going, isn't it? It's a great idea. I love the way you keep swapping genres a bit. The last one was country.
Yeah, and disco came on the tour of the Golden Album. There was a section at the end of that tour that was our fantasy version of Studio 54. And every night, not only because it was the last part of the show, so your adrenaline's going and you're like, I'm going to make it through another show. I loved being in this disco world and I thought I'd really like to spend more time here. So, yeah, I thought about it a couple of years ago, started recording last year, then really got into the groove, pardon the pun, this year in the studio, and then I had to finish it in lockdown. So yeah, it's been a ride already, and there's
But it's kind of what everyone needs at the moment.
And also, I'm really surprised that you haven't done disco before, because it's a perfect fit, isn't it?
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I guess I have over the years, but just not as determined.
Fully committed.
It's like, that's what it does. It's what's.
I love the first single that you've done, Magic.
Say Something and Magic, yeah, thank you.
We've got a clip of it here. I've been playing it on the radio. Should we have a look?
It's like we've known it for years.
Yeah.
Instant classic.
Instant classic.
Were you worried about releasing it at this time? Were you in two minds about
I
it?
was. So I went fully committed at home, got my home studio, which kind of rolls off the tongue now, but trust me, that was a whole thing in itself, you know. Yeah. Yeah, when it was almost finished, I just wondered, is there any point? Like, is this, what is this going to achieve? And I don't want to be insensitive. There are no discos open. But it turned out that people are really enjoying new music and escapism.
Everyone's dancing.
So then I was
at
able
home.
to, you know, commit.
Well, exactly. And people are loving a kitchen disco these days.
I'm doing it all the time.
I've had a couple.
Oh, we've had a few as well.
I've paid the price.
Interesting thing. Do you know, if this goes to number one, I was looking at the mid. I watched the charts. You're currently number one in the midweeks. If you are number one on Friday, you'll be the only female artist, the only artist apart from Bruce Springsteen, to have number one albums in every decade for the last 5.
Yeah.
That's a hell of an achievement.
It's a stat I'm really glad I didn't know when I was making this album.
But you do now.
But it's a thing now, and, you know, it's always a bit, there's excitement and nerves every time I release an album, but yeah, that would be incredible. I'd be the first female to do it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Let's see how we go.
Yeah, that's incredible.
I love a statistic.
Honestly, we have been inundated with questions, so I'm just going to crack on with some of them.
Okay.
So Jack says, Kylie's music has helped shape the person that I've become today. It's brought me so much joy, happiness, and made me proud to be who I am. And I mainly want to say thank you. Aww. My question for Kylie is this. Which one of your songs, this is a good question, from your back catalogue do you think would most suit a disco makeover?
Oh, I did it. I did it on Infinite Disco, which was a live stream show we did last weekend. It was a version of Slow with a mashup with Love to Love You Baby, Donna Summer.
Nice.
It was delicious. I loved it.
Well, it's funny you say about that. The virtual. What's it called?
Infinite Disco.
Infinite Disco.
Yeah.
But you haven't seen any of this. But we've got this, and you wanted to see some of the fans dancing, didn't you?
Yeah, and it did so well. I mean, we weren't really sure what it was when we...
Yeah.
It's another example, you know, Team Rickshaw getting on their bikes at home. Everyone's having to do things differently.
Yeah.
And so to bring disco to life and be able to connect with people around the world, we did this thing that's kind of a concert, it's kind of a video, it's a performance.
It was a triumph. Over 30,000 fans watched. We've got this for you, so you can see them enjoying it.
Oh, yes!
That's not lovely.
Woo! I didn't know this. Yes, that's great.
Isn't that lovely?
Gorgeous?
Thank you, everyone.
So lovely.
So beautiful.
But we've all been doing it. We've all been dancing in our houses.
We have. And that,
Well, the saying "dance like no one's watching" is, you know, we're really going there now, aren't we?
It's a good
Wait till
job
people
nobody's
are
watching as well.
You say when no one's watching. I've just been watching some clips. Glastonbury, when you did that was enormous. It was the most watched performance that there's been at
Oh my
Glastonbury.
God,
That's the
this
last time I was
insane.
here, right?
Yeah, it was the last time you were here.
Pre-Glastonbury, and I was just an absolute bag of nerves.
Look at it.
Well, and in today's world, looking at that
I know.
now, it's just even more astounding.
You can only dream.
2021, hopefully.
Yeah.
Let's do some more questions from viewers as well, because there's so many. Corey asks, what's your favourite album track that you didn't release as a single?
Oh,
That's a
boring.
tough
That's
one,
a
isn't
real
it, in
tough
all
one.
those albums?
We know we don't have a lot of time. I would say from the last album from Golden, I really liked Lost Without You. It was probably
Yeah.
never going to be single, but I really liked it.
It's my favourite album of yours, I've got to
Oh,
say.
thank
I loved
you.
it. I love country music. Robert Palladino says, I've been a super fan since I was 8 years old, watching you on Neighbours. Scott and Charlene celebrated their 32nd year of marriage this
How
week.
does Robert know this?
I knew that. What do you imagine they are up to these
What
days?
is the bigger question?
What are they up
What?
to? What are Charlene and Scott up to these days?
Oh, I don't know. I'd like to think
They're
she's
still
got
together,
her own
aren't they?
garage. She's got a team of mechanics working for her.
I love that team of mechanics.
Yeah.
Well, Kylie's album Disco and the brilliant single Magic is out now. We've also got to mention that we've had so many messages for Team Rickshaw.
Yeah.
Sue Wilcox says, it's such a shame that the Rickshaw Challenge cannot continue in the way planned. The young people taking part have worked so hard despite feeling pain and discomfort. So true. They're heroes and I hope they know what an inspiration they are all to us. Best wishes to you all and of course to Matt for his dedication to the Rickshaw Challenge
there he
for
is,
10
still
years.
going.
Rightly so as well.
Yeah, Catherine on Twitter says, I'm so glad they're able to continue. Where there's a will, there is a way. And these young people have plenty of willpower. Go Team Rickshaw.
Oh, and Jan very quickly says it's great that Rickshaw Challenge is still going ahead, though in a different format. Good luck to them all over the next few days.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jan.
Good
and
luck,
that's all we've got time for tonight. Thank you so much to Kylie, to JJ, and of course to Matt, as always.
Amazing rickshaw riders. We'll be back tomorrow with the funniest man in football, Chris Kamara.
Have
We'll
a
see you
lovely
then.
evening.
God bless you.
Bye.